Coming up on UCF Nightly News, big news in the Zimmerman saga. Find out what is happening to him going forward after another run-in with the law. Plus, a JetBlue plane was forced to make an emergency landing, saving the lives of those on board, and we'll tell you how the safety device malfunctioned in flight.
And Orlando is getting one more professional sports team. We'll show you how fans celebrated Orlando City Soccer's big announcement and what's in store for the future of this team. UCF Nightly News starts right now.
Good afternoon and welcome to UCF Nightly News. I'm Simone Davis.
And I'm Caitlin Shanna. Today is Friday, November 22nd.
Today, the nation is honoring the loss of one of its presidents. November 22nd marks the 50th anniversary of the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States. Lee Harvey Oswald shot Kennedy in 1963 while campaigning in Dallas, Texas. Noted as one of the youngest presidents, JFK is well known for the establishment of the Peace Corps and his work in U.S. space travel. Cities nationwide will honor the anniversary of the fallen president this afternoon. George Zimmerman is facing trouble once again, making national headlines this week. Seminole County Sheriff's deputies say the 30-year-old is facing aggravated assault, battery, domestic violence, and criminal mischief charges after he reportedly attacked his girlfriend, Samantha Shebe, in her Apopka home. Seminole County Sheriff's Office deputies arrested Zimmerman on Monday. After facing a judge, he was released on a $9,000 bail Tuesday afternoon. The former Neighborhood Watch volunteer was acquitted of all charges in July for the fatal shooting death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. Part of Zimmerman's bond requires him to wear a monitoring bracelet. Officials say if convicted, Zimmerman can face up to 5 years in prison.
In other local news, a JetBlue flight had a scary moment on Wednesday when pilots were forced to do an emergency landing. The flight from Fort Myers to Boston was forced to stop at the Orlando International Airport after one of the emergency slides partially opened inside the aircraft. The plane carrying 77 passengers and a full flight crew did land safely and no major injuries were reported. Passengers were evacuated off the flight through the rear exit because of the slide. JetBlue officials are still working to uncover exactly what caused it. On Wednesday night, people came together all over the nation to celebrate Trans Day of Remembrance. On campus, students held a candlelight visual by the reflection pond to remember those who were victims of anti-transphobic violence. The day became official 15 years ago when Rita Hester, a transgender woman, was brutally murdered in Massachusetts in 1998. The Domestic and Sexual Violence Database shows more than 200 people were killed this year because of this violence.
Have you ever wondered how much money you're worth? Nightly News reporter Noe Pickrell spoke with representatives at the UCF Career Services to help students find out how much money they should expect with a starting salary.
Many students at UCF may not know as much about negotiating salaries as they think. Career experts say students must consider benefits, location, and personal worth when speaking with employers. That's why Career Services experts had a workshop on Wednesday to talk about the subject. We spoke to a student who attended the event and asked her what starting salary she thought she was worth.
Possibly $45,000 to start.
Shauna Strickler is a career development coordinator for UCF, and she says students often overestimate their worth.
They really need to look at their skills, and their skills might not be as comparable or may not meet the requirements for that higher salary range.
Students listened to Strickler speak about her experiences, and those who attended were also able to ask questions about how to find the best salary.
There are some great online resources such as salary.com or ONET online, but they can also talk to people in the field that might give them a better sense of what kind of salaries to expect.
After the workshop, we asked the same student if she had any changes in her perception of salary.
My opinion still stays the same, but I'm probably just a little more informed on how to make an offer.
That was Noe Pickrell reporting. Studies by the National Association of Colleges and Employers show the average starting salary is anywhere from $38,000 to $53,000 per year. Figures vary depending on the fields of study and location. Speaking of negotiations, it's official. Orlando now has its second professional sports franchise. Orlando City soccer officials made the big announcement on Tuesday. Reporter BB Baksht was there and revealed the news and how the fans reacted.
It's my pleasure to welcome Orlando City SC as Major League Soccer's 21st expansion team. Yeah!
A historic day for Orlando City Soccer couldn't be met with more excitement from its fans.
I sat outside for about 12 hours. I'm ready to get in, ready to support Orlando, ready to get it on. MLS Cup.
Purple lined the streets outside the Cheyenne Saloon in downtown Orlando, where fans took pictures and, of course, hung out with Kingston, the team's mascot. Fans celebrated with food and music and lined up to hear the announcement for themselves. And when they got in, you could feel the energy. The fans are pumped and ready to go. They're ready to hear Orlando City Soccer's big announcement about becoming the 21st MLS franchise. There wasn't a quiet moment inside the Cheyenne Saloon. And some familiar faces showed up to share in the festivities.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It wouldn't have happened without the love and commitment of the fans like you that believe in soccer and Orlando.
The Orlando City Lions will become the 21st Major League Soccer franchise in 2015, and their new 18,000-seat stadium is set to open in summer 2015. In Orlando, BB Baksht, UCF Nightly News.
The team will continue to play at the Florida Citrus Bowl until they move into their $84 million stadium.
$84 million. Wowzers, that is very expensive.
That is a lot of money. I mean, it's looking really nice outside.
I know.
It's cooling down. So, Kenny, is it going to continue for the rest of the weekend?
Yes, guys. You know, we had the rain problem yesterday with the Rutgers and UCF game, but luckily it's starting to clear up, and we are starting to see some, a little more sunnier skies today. You know, right now, if we look at currently right now, we're hanging around 77 degrees, but it actually feels like 81 because of the humidity. Right now, it's about 76%. Some cloudy skies, but hopefully later on in the day, that will start to break up a little bit. And right now, our winds, calm right now, about 12 miles an hour. And I'll have a little bit more later on about our weather forecast later on in the show.
Still ahead on Nightly News, members of the Volunteer UCF taught students about the realities of struggling with hunger at a banquet on Monday night.
And followers of the Muslim faith spent the week spreading awareness. We'll tell you about their events when we return. UCF celebrated the 20th annual Hunger Banquet on Monday to raise awareness about the struggle of child hunger in the United States and the world. Volunteer UCF partnered with Central Florida organizations and charities for the event. Students and attendees experienced an interactive workshop by being separated into low, middle, and high social classes. Officials from the banquet say they did this to make attendees see the reality of world hunger and poverty. Knight's Pantry volunteers also attended the banquet to collect food donations. Co-founder of the Community Food and Outreach Center, Scott George, says students should be proactive to help others in need.
You don't have to wait for them to get, 40, 50 years old. I mean, they can make a difference now, and that's.
This week, members of the Muslim Student Association held its annual Islam Awareness Week. Some fun events let students sample Middle Eastern foods like samosas and Indian ice cream. They also got their names written in Arabic and got free tattoos. But some lessons were more serious than food and henna tattoos, along with Islam 101, where students learned the basics of the religion. The week featured an event called Hijabathon, where female students went through the day wearing the Islamic scarf card called hijab. At the end of the day, students talked about their experience.
So in fact, if you ask anyone here, they'll tell you the exact opposite, that wearing hijab is freeing and it gives them a new sense of purpose and a new identity, and it allows people to judge them not on their appearance or whether you can see their hair flowing or you can see their chest, and based on their intelligence and their personality instead.
UCF also gave students a chance to experience traditions from all over the world this week as a part of the International Education Week. One of the events was the International Fair on Monday. More than 25 student organizations like the Muslim Student Association, the Bhakti Yoga Group, and the Colombian Student Association, as well as others, showcased music, dancing, activities from their cultures. The event was complete with food like Colombian sodas and candies, along with traditional Arabic foods like samosas. For more on International Education Week, go to nightlynews.ucf.edu under the News tab. Now, not every student plans to go right into the workforce after graduation. Some of them want to travel the world and explore new cultures, right? This week, UCF Career Services hosted the official informational sessions for the Peace Corps. Students learned about the history behind the organization, which was started by President John F. Kennedy. Attendees also learned more about the requirements of those who choose to serve in the Corps, including stipends, the length of serving time, and safety. Carlos Rojas, UCF recruiter for the Peace Corps, served in the organization for over a year. He shared his experiences with the students and explained why joining the Corps can be a route to take post-graduation.
In the international field, I mean, a lot of people join the Peace Corps not having a real clear clue as to what they want to do in the States. And what the Peace Corps does is it allows them to dabble into different programs, for example, health, working with kids, education, agriculture, environment, and it allows them to really see what's out there.
UCF administrators say they encourage students to have the competitive edge when applying for jobs. A great way to make it happen is to know how to make graphics and designs for companies. This month, Blackstone Launchpad started hosting a series of informational sessions, helping students learn how to brand for not only themselves, but for companies and other organizations. Attendees were able to learn from experts from the branding trade about tactics they can use to get an employer's attention. After the session, students were able to speak one-on-one with presenters.
The biggest thing I wanted to get them into is dispelling the myth of when I get a design project just to go create. You should definitely start off with where is this design going to be placed? What is the limitations? Is it for print? Is it for a web? It's essentially figuring out the why you're creating it before you actually go and create it, because what happens.
The weather has been looking ugly for the past couple of days. When we come back, Kenny Morales tells us what to expect over the weekend.
And a little bit later in sports, reporter Noy Pickrell tells us about last night's game against Rutgers and what is to come.
Flu season is here, and officials say this year the shots are free to all students. The vaccine is available at the first floor in the health center. Health officials want you to know that this shot is not a live virus, and it has 4 strings to fight different viruses in the body. They also say students can walk into the health center from 9 to 5 on Monday and Fridays to get the flu shot without an appointment. Also, remember to bring your student ID, and you can't currently be sick. Past semesters, once the free shots ran out, Knights had to pay $25. That's why these health experts believe that the flu ends with you.
Students came together on Tuesday night to celebrate the love of music. Unsigned Club at UCF is a group bringing together any student with a passion for sound. Now, no band is necessary for hoping to join, though. Officials from the club say it's all about sharing the love of music and having jam sessions where anyone can join in. Tuesday night, the group held one of its concerts at Memory Mall, where it played host to several local singers and bands underneath the stars. They hold these concerts a couple of times a semester, and anyone interested can find out about the group at our website at nightlynews.ucf.edu under the News tab.
The UCF Board of Trustees made the decision not to give President John C. Hitt a raise for the coming 2013 to 2014 school year. Trustee officials say the reason behind the decision is due to poor economy and tight budget. Hitt is ranked as one of the highest paid public university presidents in the country. Currently, his annual salary is about $500,000. The board did approve $320,000 in bonuses for some university administrators, including Hitt, after meeting university goals this year. Also, a university spokesperson says Hitt and many other state employees did receive each $1,000 in a raise last month. Trustees say they are extremely appreciative of all of Hitt's accomplishments over the last 2 decades. Well, Nightly News reporter BB Bash joins us to tell us what's happening in UCF arts and culture. Hey, BB.
Hey, thanks, Caitlin. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, luckily there's a lot going on in Orlando. If you just want to stay in the UCF area, Light Up UCF is still going on in front of the CFE Arena. Attendees of all ages can enjoy ice skating, a light show, movies, attractions, and even take a picture with Santa. Prices range from $4.25 to $12 depending on the attraction, and there are discounts for students. For more information, go to lightupUCF.com. But if you're near the Florida Mall, stop in at the Florida Hotel and Conference Center for the Sunburst Convention of Celebrity Impersonators and Tribute Artists. It's an event held every year where attendees can watch celebrity impersonators perform on stage. So if you want to hang out with Lady Gaga and Elvis, guests pay $20 at the door. Go to nightlynews.ucf.edu for more information. But if you're like me and you're just looking to keep it simple and maybe just head out to the movies this weekend, topping the box office is Thor: The Dark World. The mighty Avenger returns to battle Malekith and restore order across the cosmos. And for those Hunger Games fans, you can follow Katniss Everdeen and Peter Millark as they embark on their journey in the second movie of the trilogy. Whatever you do, I'm sure the weather will be beautiful. Back to you guys.
I don't know about you guys, but I love the Hunger Games. I'm like one of the biggest fans. Are you guys going to go see it this weekend?
I saw the first one. I want to see the second one, but I don't really want to go to the movies. I want to get out the house. I do. I want to get out the house. So, Kenny, please tell us what's the weather going to be like this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Caitlin, I'm right there with you. I'm actually really excited about the second Hunger Games. But right now, let's go ahead and help out Simone with the weather real quick. Now, of course, we've been wanting to have some cooler temperatures now that we're in late November, but unfortunately, sad to say, we are still dealing with some high temperatures, 79 over in Tally, 79 as well over in Jacksonville. Right now, hanging out about 81 degrees here in our home in Orlando, and then our neighbor to the west, Tampa, is about 85 degrees, so a little bit warmer. And then you head down to the 305 in Miami, and they are also hanging around 81 degrees right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at our national temperature weather map real quick. Now, like I said, we have been wanting some colder weather, but we are not the only state. You see, the whole southeastern region is dealing with some hot weather. 68 in Charlotte, 77 in New Orleans, and then also, I mean, it's really tough, man. It's really tough out there. Over in the northeast, you can see a little bit colder weather up in New York and around 54, 47 in Buffalo, and then even in the west, where Phoenix is at 60, Cali, it's also in the 60s. So hopefully in the next week or two, we'll see some colder temperatures. Now let's go ahead and have our precipitation map. Now, we had the rain the other day with the Rutgers game, but hopefully that will stay clear the rest of the day. Sunny skies, hopefully in our future. You see down here, we're having around maybe ½ inch to 1 inch of rain. Same issue up in the northeast. The The only area you see maybe some heavy rains is around Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana. So let's go ahead real quick and get you with your 5-day forecast. If we take a quick look real now, you'll see Friday we have about high of 78 with a low of 68 with some scattered thunderstorms. Saturday, same issue, high of 78, low of 69. And the rest of the week you see it's pretty much clear skies up until Tuesday. We have a high of 74 with a low of 62. Let's go ahead and kick it back to the desk with Simone and Caitlin.
Thanks, Kenny. Still ahead on UCF Nightly News, it's been a big week for UCF sports.
Yes, it has, and reporter Noe Pickrell tells us about UCF's football game, big game last night against Rutgers, and UCF's big basketball game against Miami.
Welcome Knights to your UCF Sports Update. I'm Noe Pickrell. And UCF has done it again, but this time bigger than ever. It was a landslide win last night, which the Knights held a continuous lead the entire game. It began with a bang as UCF scored a touchdown on the opening drive when Blake Bortles connected with Brashad Perriman. On the second drive, Rutgers' possession, Clayton Geathers picked off his first career interception, leading to a Storm Johnson touchdown. The Knights continued to put points on the board, finishing with 5 touchdowns and 2 field goals. Bortles went above and beyond quarterback duties, leading the team with rushing with over 40 yards. UCF wins 41-17, and here's what our quarterback had to say.
Like I said, we'll take a win. Nobody, I think, really, would script a game the way the past couple ones have gone. I think the script's more of how it went tonight, and that's why we work so hard all week, is to come out and be able to execute what we've done all week and win any way we can.
And it's been a huge season for not only the athletes, but head coach George O'Leary is also feeling the national light. He has been honored for the season's successes and named as a semifinalist for the Maxwell Football Club Collegiate Coach of the Year award. The Knights are undefeated in the American Athletic Conference and have 2 games remaining. This is the 4th time in 5 years O'Leary has led bowl-eligible teams. In the decade he has coached here, this has been the best season yet, racking up just 1 loss to South Carolina. And UCF basketball also won last night in Miami, in a close game where both teams were neck and neck. But every time Miami put numbers on the board, UCF responded. The team was led in scoring this week by senior guard Calvin Newell, who racked up a team high of 19 points. The second highest scorer was forward Casey Wilson, scoring 15 points against the Hurricanes. Knights won their third game of the early season, 63-58. And big news this week for Orlando City Soccer. It has been confirmed that the soccer club will be joining the MLS in 2015. The city held the announcement party on Tuesday, and fans gathered in the streets of downtown Orlando and in the Cheyenne Saloon to celebrate. This is the second professional team to call Orlando home. The Lions will continue to play in the Citrus Bowl for the next season until their brand new stadium is ready. And we will end our sports segment with the play of the week. Freshman running back William Stanback bulldozing through Rutgers cornerback Anthony Chiaffi. Not something fans see often. And there was no stopping that fresh athlete. But that's all we have for today. Time now to kick it back to the desk with Caitlin, Simone, and Kenny.
Man, I wish I was there to see that play.
Same here.
Yeah, same guys. That game was awesome. I'm super excited for the USF game though this Friday.
Awesome. That's all we have time for now. Thanks for joining us.
If you have a story idea or comment about something you've seen here on Nightly News, email us at nightlynews@ucf.edu.
And be sure to check us out online at nightlynews.ucf.edu. Join us here again next week. Until then, have a great weekend.